At our AirTalk forum on how best to judge the job teachers are doing, we had a wonderful conversation. Eric Hanashek, who is a professor up at Stanford at the Hoover Institution, is one of the people who helped originate the value-added analysis. We also had Richard Rothstein, who's the former New York Times education columnist, who took issue with using standardized test scores from students as a major way of evaluating teachers. So we took all kinds of questions from members of our in-person audience at the AirTalk forum. But we can only do a small percentage of those questions each time. So many of them, even outstanding questions, we're not able to use simply in the time crunch of what we've got. Bob was one of the attendees who said many conventionally evaluated teachers were rated as ineffective. If compassion, enthusiasm, professional training aren't predictors of effectiveness in the classroom, isn't that then an indictment of teachers' degree programs and training? Because if this is what teachers are really being trained to do, and if they've got all the other qualities that we think are part and parcel of being a teacher, and they're still not getting the results in student test scores, maybe something's wrong in the way that teachers are being prepared. We had another question from Leonel in the audience who said, why do we use standardized tests to compare state-to-state results when style standards vary so widely and when what the minimum requirements on those tests are? So a person making the point that we can't even conclude that California is ahead of or behind other states because it's not standardized across the country. Julie, who was in our audience, says, as we obsess over student test scores and teachers' ability to raise scores, are we turning out academic giants but ethical nervous wrecks, tempted to cheat to get the grade or binge to release stress and fail to build meaningful relationships due to the lack of balance in the classroom? So we'd love to hear from you, whether you're a teacher or just a listener to AirTalk. I'd like to hear your thoughts about how best to evaluate teachers. What are the ways you think that teachers can be assessed better, and what are the kinds of ways teachers can be helped to improve their performance if they're found to be deficient? Share that on the AirTalk page at kpcc.org.